Good evening. Welcome back to the fourth session of the Sanjeevani. It'd be lovely to hear how your practice is going and your thoughts. We're going to start with a short review of this subject of yesterday. In this spiritual model, we see the physical world as a drama stage. The soul is the actor, and the body is like a mask. There is natural freedom from expectations in a story. This is easy with spiritual sight, the paras intellect, broad, subtle, and divine. This is a big secret to life. We see everything is good and everyone is good. With paras glasses, this is a drama, it becomes neutral. Starting position, all are divine. In contrast, Pata is stuck with just the story. Attention on the home and the starting position is like light. With Pata, light is just on the drama, so gets impressed and attached. So in essence, we have the option, lower consciousness of the beggar, the victim, and the slave, or the higher consciousness, the invisible traveller who is never a beggar, never a victim, never a slave. That paras spiritual sight helps with this. The invisible traveller comes to the physical world with the feeling to give. So useful to realize that there are tools and the paras intellect that we are practicing. And it was said yesterday that everyone has paras, everyone has pata, and whatever you use, it becomes stronger. And so here the emphasis is to build paras, and that gives experiences and contrast. Otherwise, it can be scholarly. So there was a stepwise meditation yesterday, and we also put a copy of a transcript in the resources. We'll put the link in the chat. It can be nice to review because the sequence gives that rational structure, but also to understand the essence, what it's pointing to. So what are your thoughts? And we'll be seeing how the subject evolves today. And as always, really great if you're in a position to come into camera. Happy to see you as well. Meanwhile, welcoming back Prashant. Good evening.
Hello, and welcome back. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in the camera. That creates an interactive atmosphere. Thank you. Let us create another minute of silence and just a quick reset. We are reminding that it is the invisible traveler. It is the journey of the invisible traveler. It is not the journey of Prashant or Harry or anyone else, not the characters. And this invisible traveler is very lucky. To begin with, he is immortal. He got his very secure home. He has family, true family, noble and immortal. His world is naturally positive. He's not hoping it is positive. The universe is positive. That's why natural state of everyone is a happiness and love and contentment. Truth is beautiful. And then he understands this story is like a gift for him. As a story, he doesn't approach it with ignorance. It is not his story, it is a story, separate story. He doesn't want to get deceived in that story. That is the caution. Just by being conscious of this truth, he wins the sky, also wins the earth. That is, he experiences his supreme and sublime reality. And also is able to see the physical world the right way. Finds every moment in this world is a gift. Dragons and villains and camels. Drama brings different scenarios. He has no complaints. The story is harmless. He knows this. He himself is beyond harm. Thank you. Today we are going to move to the subject of today. It is a story, full story. Today's session will be a story. But this story is showing us a psychodrama, what is happening in our mind in a beautiful way. This story is an epic from India. It is called Ramayana. And in this story, there are few main characters. We are not going to go in the details of that epic, but the spiritual message within it. That is what our aim is today. So there is one character in that story, and she is called Sita. Sita is the princess, and then later she becomes the queen, and she is pretty, she is virtuous. Everyone likes Sita. And Sita is married to King Ram. And Ram is wise and perfection in Ram. In perfect son, perfect brother, perfect friend. Everything is perfect about Ram. Whole world loves Ram. Can you think of equivalent uh, character today's world? Which president is more like Ram? You can think of. So Sita is representing the soul in the story. And Ram is representing God. In the kingdom of Ram, there is no concept of anything inauspicious, no sorrow, no desires, no disappointments. It is like a kingdom of natural happiness, contentment, love. Such is that world, kingdom of Ram. The story will not be complete without the bad guy. And the bad guy here is called Ravan. Ravan is a king of demons. And the trait of the demons, they take sorrow, give sorrow. They deal with sorrow. In the kingdom of Ram, there is happiness. Take happiness, give happiness. So there is Ravan also in the picture. And Ravan wants to kidnap Sita. Why? So that he can give her sorrow. That is only mission of Ravan. But Ravan cannot do anything to Sita because there is a dotted line. As long as Sita doesn't cross this line, Ravan cannot do anything. Do you want to tell what is this dotted line? What is this line? Line of protection, line which Sita should not cross.
Lakshmanrekha, so it must be from the mythology.
From what we have discussed so far, what is this line?
Okay, so we don't need to know mythology now. Although it's a familiar dotted line, but let's see. Between Paris and Pata.
And another word we used yesterday.
So some are typing maybe, let's see. Maybe line of ignorance.
Yes, yesterday we referred to that as line of ignorance.
To be below the line is ego.
Yes, once we cross the line, attachment starts, So we go to someone's place, forget that it is not even my place, start claiming things, means I have crossed the line. So here also, Sita, Ravan cannot do anything to Sita as long as Sita stays behind the line. But Ravan is also, and there is intelligence in Ravan. Ravan Ravan attends all the management programs, management leadership courses. He is always there in the front row. He's a king in ignorance. Outside the dotted line is ignorance. Behind the line is clarity, wisdom. That's why that line of ignorance in a dotted line. Ravan is a king in ignorance. But he has one wisdom, how to get others into ignorance. That is his specialty. So this time he sends a golden deer. And the golden deer is outside the line. Does it look like a deer? You can see the tail of the deer. So this deer is outside the dotted line. And Sita says, wow, deer, deer. So Sita is so impressed with the deer. And she says, I just need to cross it once. I come back behind straight away with the deer. It is not a big problem. She crosses the line. Once she crosses the line, what happens? You are in ignorance. You are in darkness. And in darkness, it is not so easy to find a way back even. In the darkness, you do more mistakes. So Sita finds herself on the slippery slope once she crosses the line. And now she is in Ravan's kingdom. She's kidnapped. And in the Ravan's kingdom, her first position is a slave. A slave to Ravan. And Ravan is not just an ordinary monster. Ravan has got 10 heads. And these different heads need different things. I like to show his one leg bit short. Ravan with his 10 heads. And There's different heads. For example, this one head of Ravan, he needs cigarettes. Can you see that head of Ravan? Here is a head of Ravan head that needs cigarettes. I can see the cigarette. So he says cigarettes, and so Sita has to get in the car and go at the fastest speed to the tobacco shop and bring the supplies to her master. Is that the end of the problem? He says, very good slave. Master is impressed with the supply of cigarettes. Is that the end of problem? What happens next?
Associated with smoking is often drinking. They're probably connected. Maybe he wants to do other things. Wants more. I don't know what more of. Maybe food. Habits. I don't know which habits. Bad
Yeah,
habits.
that's right. Even here, that head you give cigarettes, that head gets bigger. And bigger Ravan wants more cigarettes. So Sita has to run now faster. And more you give him, he gets bigger. So Sita really finds herself in this trap of Ravan. So all that Sita wants is some peace with this monster. Whatever he wants, give him what he wants, and let there be peace. But it doesn't solve the problem. And this Ravan gets bigger and bigger. Ravan wants more, and he gets angry. It is a demon. Ultimately, it's a demon. And just like any creature, say young one of a tiger looks very harmless and very cute also. You feed this cub, he becomes a tiger and he wants to eat you. The same happens here. The young one of this Ravan, some of these heads are small and they appear very, very cute, and you want to give them what they are asking for. And he gets, in this example, you give cigarettes and you give cigarettes, then it becomes a demon properly. And he will take sorrow, give sorrow. Demons are created in this world. Gandhi said, they don't come from the sky. We create them here. And we create them in ourselves here, as we are seeing here. Innocently, you don't realize what is happening there. But as the Ravan's head gets bigger, he now that his desperation is bigger. He can take different kinds of sorrows and he can also give sorrow. One head wants cigarettes. Second head, what does the second head need? Second head, you want to tell?
Someone's written drugs, TV, any addiction that we enslave ourselves to.
Sure. But some heads want another person. Another head wants position. Another head wants some possession. There is desperation. How do you know there is Ravan involved in it? Is your appears to be very innocent life, Ravan involved. Whenever there is sorrow, you know that there is Ravan involved in it. Maybe it's a small form, but Ravan is involved. You desperately want something, otherwise you will be unhappy. That means Ravan is there. You are willing to break the rules. It means Ravan is there. Desperation. It may be even a simple thing like coffee or something. So one head wants position, one head wants another person, just company. Otherwise, I'll be lonely, I'll be unhappy, this kind of thing. Lust is a department of Ravan. Just one head of Ravan is involved with this whole department of lust. And some heads maybe evolved with some new things. Ravan can create new things, some technology. Maybe one head of Ravan is dedicated to the Facebook, maybe. So this is the way the department of Ravan is expanding. One simple way to see this Ravan's department, each head is obsessed with something in this box. One head may be obsessed with sugar, one head is obsessed with another person, one head is obsessed with position, but everything within that box. That is what Ravan is stuck with and addicted. Ravan's department. So here, Sita is the slave, and Ravan is getting bigger. Ravan's hates are becoming more demonic. Sita is in a big trouble here. Ram sends a message to Sita. He says, "You are in trouble." One friend here, in Cambridge, he was listening to this story. He said, "This Ram is not taking any responsibility." He was a bit annoyed with Ram for not doing anything all this time. It is freedom. Ram believes in giving freedom to others. So here now Ram is sending a message to Sita. You are in big trouble. This monster is like a bully. You are feeding him, and he's getting worse, and he has no intention to. Demons, they don't have gratitude. They don't have a language of gratitude. They remain helplessly selfish. The sorrow, selfishness, and you might have helped the demon. They're happy to take the help, but they will return with sorrow. This is what the demonic personality is. So we are talking about that kind of personality here, Ravan. He has no mercy on Sita. He wants to give sorrow. So Ram sends this message. And Ram says, I can help you, I can free you, but there is a one condition. Ram is happy to help Sita. He says, I am almighty. I'm more powerful than Ravan. I can free you, but there is a condition. What is that condition? Those who have not heard this before, they get first chance to answer. What is the condition from Ram? Ram loves her. In the kingdom of Ram, there is nothing but love, and it is altruistic love. It is or genuine. Ram doesn't do any mistake. Ram is like this, flawless forever. So he loves her, but still he puts a condition. What is this condition?
So there's a few options here. She has to let go. She has to pass the Agni test. I think that's a fire test, something from the stories of scriptures. Faith in Ram. Remembrance. Don't listen to Ravan. Go to the higher state of consciousness herself.
Yeah, at this stage, the condition is just that she wants to be free from Ravan. That is all. She takes a decision. Then Ram is happy to help her how to become free and everything. Ram is happy to help her, give her the method. But she needs to take the decision to become free from Ravan. And this word has to be underlined in our notebooks, decision. And it appears sometimes very simple. And let me ask you, is this decision easy? This decision to be free from Ravan, is this decision easy?
No,
No? Okay, let me give you the orientation. Choice is between being the queen to Ram or slave to Ravan. This is a choice. Is it a difficult choice?
It is very easy now. No, someone is still saying no.
And in it, as we said, this is a psychodrama. This drama is going on in everyone's head. In your town, if there are 100,000 people, this psychodrama is happening in everyone's head. They may be young, old, they may be believing in God, not believing in God, but this Ravan is there, Sita is there, line is there, the different heads of Ravan are there. It's same the psychodrama. Ravan is there. Ask your people in the town if they want to be free from Ravan. And but so straightforward. I mean, very fact that they are not even bothered gives you an idea that everyone is absolutely comfortable. No one wants to take this decision at the present time. I'm talking here in a larger world. Why? The reason is Ravan has got an assistant. Make a guess what's the name of the assistant? Ravan has got an assistant. And the name of the assistant is Madame Maya. That's right. And Maya is the intelligence in Ravan's administration. Maya is intelligent. So Ravan likes this Madame Maya. Anything ugly things need to be done, Ravan chooses Maya for that. You need those characters in Ravan's administration. So here there is Maya. And Maya is given a duty. Go to Sita's world and don't let Sita take this decision. This is the only duty to Maya. So Maya goes into the Sita's kingdom. She is like a nice friend of Sita. Sita likes her so much that Sita appoints her as the main advisor. So anytime Sita has to take a decision, she sends a WhatsApp message to Maya, and then Maya immediately replies. And if she wants to take anything, decisions, Maya is their main advisor. Sita is very impressed with Maya. So here, Sita has to decide whether I should smoke or not smoke. Let us take this example. So Sita sends a message to Maya, that I can't breathe properly. My one lung is removed and I am coughing, and I don't even like the smell of cigarettes. So should I stop smoking? Sita is asking Maya. What is Maya saying? Maya says, it's a good idea to stop smoking. But Maya likes this word, but. Today is what date? Today is, we are in the middle of the month.
3rd of June.
Right. So wait until the 1st of July. So you each time you hear the word later, it is coming from Maya. Maya is intelligent, knows how to deal with this Sita. Another time, Maya says, you are weak. You tried to give it up before you failed. So why do you want to just waste your time trying and losing? Another time, Maya says, it's very difficult. So many tried to give it up. They failed. So don't even try. Do you have Maya in your world? Is there Maya there? Another time Maya says it's a long process. So it might take a few years but very, very gradually. First, you just plan it, first 6 months. Those cultures where they believe in reincarnation, Maya absolutely likes this concept of reincarnation. Maya says, you plan it this life and make effort in the next life. Maya has got corporate lawyers working for her to think of excuses. Maya says, you might put on weight, you might lose friends, all kinds. Yes, Sita says, yes, thank you very much. That is just exactly what I wanted to know. Another set of lawyers to create doubts. All this effort of Maya is just to stop decision. And once decision is not taken, then Sita is in Ravan's camp. What an amazing success of Maya. What is the form of Maya in the West? Those who are maybe in cities, what is the form of Maya in the cities?
Commercialism. Yes, a bit more materialist. Shopping.
Maya is keeping you busy. You are so busy and work running around for some projects of Ravan that you don't even know what you are doing, even why you are there, what is important, what is your purpose, who you are. There's no time for anything important. They are busy running around. We use the word bhakti. Bhakti is like God, 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 but it is like a blind faith. But I'll write the word blind faith, which refers to most of this chant of God that happens. That is like another department of Maya. Maya likes it. Like for example, Sita knows Ram will help her. She is looking for Ram. Maya says, you are looking for Ram? Okay, here is a statue. It is not Ram, but it is a statue. It is close enough. You start worshipping him, and that is a step. It will take you to Ram. So now she is busy, worshipping that statue. And in time, she is now attached to that statue. She's busy, building, temples around that statue. And now Ram comes, and she says, "No, I'm busy. I have to do this worship of the statue." If it was real Ram, she will experience freedom. But this structure of bhakti keeps her in the Ravan's camp. So Maya's very clear goal is to keep Sita working for Ravan. The simple program of Ravan is that why is Maya appointed? Sita just need to take the decision that I want to leave Ravan. Then Ram helps, and Ravan loses a slave. Just she has to take a decision. I want to leave Ravan, and immediately Ram helps, and Sita becomes free. So Maya is kept to deal with this department, decision department. Do you want to say anything? Is there Maya in your town? We see sometimes.
The appreciation of the story. yeah, I'm just reflecting on the decision. So it's like, because Maya loves procrastination, and clauses and ifs and buts and try. And someone also wrote about smoking, the argument that it helps with stress. So all kinds of reasons. Yes.
The study was just an example. This smoking is just an example. This Maya's cleverness applies to each head of Ravan. Each head of Ravan has got its supplies, it needs, and Maya will keep the supplies going. Will have clever argument to looking for the interests of Ravan. That is what Maya is. Now, let us see very objectively. When you see the overview here, there is a game going on there. And in this game, Sita and Ram are on one side, Maya and Ravan on the other side. There's a game. And in any game, there are winners and losers. Every game, there are winners and losers. In every game, there are prizes and penalties. So also in this game, there are winners and losers, prizes and penalties. If Sita wins this game, there are prizes. And Sita loses the game, there are penalties. In other games, prizes are medal. Even in Olympics, you get a medal, that's all. And penalties may be a card, red card or some, you get a penalty. Here, prizes are real and penalties are also real. This, what we are seeing here, this game, the nice word for this game in this story is Raz. Raz has got a meaning, it is secret, secret game. It is not obvious, it is silent, secret game. Very important game. And beautiful structure in the nature that decides each one's future. Whether in this journey, our journey is long. Sita has a long journey. It is not just one life. So where will be your future? It is decided by the score in this game. Our birth, this life, the birth itself is decided by the score in our past birth. Each and everyone is in this game. This mechanism is there in everyone's life. They can play the game. They are in the game. If they win, they get prizes. If they lose, there are penalties. There are sometimes you see the lives of some people, so many complications, so many these difficulties, misfortunes. Is it chance that someone is having misfortune, someone is lucky? Is it chance? The concept of Raj says nothing is chance. It depends on the game, how one played the game. If Ravan wins, there are penalties. It also happens sometimes someone is born. It happens in this country, some years ago, someone is born in the royal family. And the whole world, newspapers all over the world, they are celebrating the birth of a person in the royal family in England. The remote countries, newspapers have got front page articles. Angel is born. What does it tell you? Is it chance that whole world is happy? And as time progresses, they have a life, which is, possibilities are different. The king and the they are happy to be with them. There are reasons. The game, if Sita wins the game, they become lucky in life. There are prizes. The whole life, the prize. If Sita loses, Ravan wins, then there are penalties. Now there is one more game, and this game is called boxing. And in this boxing, there is third result: win, lose, and another one. And the third result is called knockout. One player becomes unconscious. In our skull, and there's this bone of the head. It appears very thick. You see sometimes skull that is very thick, and some part of it is very thick. Like here, this is very thick. At the back, it is very thick. But side, this is area is called parietal area and temporal area. Temporal area is thin, very thin. And one important artery is going in this area behind that region. And if the boxer hits that area, that artery goes into spasm and the boxer becomes unconscious. And it is allowed in the game to make other person unconscious. And the referee counts 15 and then finished. Ambulance comes. And so when someone is knocked out, what happens? He doesn't even know that there is a game going on. Unconscious. That is a sign that someone is unconscious. So in this game, we said this Raz, this game, Ravan, Maya, this game is going on in everyone's head. If in your town, if there are people who don't even know that they are in a game, this is a game in everyone's life, but they're so innocent, don't even know that there's a game, just happy, going for a walk, eating something, job. It means spiritually they are unconscious. There is a knockout deeper inside. Zombie. Sita is zombie. That applies to most of the population. That's why in the story, there is a reference to the word, and that word is called Sanjeevani. Have you heard this word? Sanjeevani is a mythological herb that can revive the dead. That can revive. In the story, there is this word used, Sanjeevani. It is on Himalayas, that herb in the story, and it is brought, and it has power to revive someone who is unconscious. So here we are understanding what is Sanjeevani for us. The knowledge is Sanjeevani. But how do you know? And there are so many kinds of knowledge, all kinds of knowledge. Even in the spiritual field, there's so much going on in the world. So many religions, scriptures. How do you know if any of that is Sanjeevani? If it is Sanjeevani, then you will wake up to understand the game. That you are in a game, you will understand this. You will understand who the enemy is. You will recognize who your friend is. I'm atheist, I'm agnostic. That all of that really doesn't mean anything. But you recognize that here I need this friend. I want to find out more about this. Someone who knows the game and who can help me win this game. You come to know the friend. You come to know the enemy. First, you know the game itself, and you also know the self. You understand you are the queen. Sita is the queen. Sita is not a slave. Sita is like Ram. That's a big thing. What else you come to know with Sanjeevani? You come to know the game. You come to know the enemy, friend. You come to know yourself. One more. If you answer it, you will get a prize. Maya is enemy. Yes, you come to know Maya. That is Maya's different tricks. You not superficially just the word Maya, but you understand what Maya is doing. Maya's cleverness.
You get to know your original Maya Ravan free state. I suppose that's self, isn't it?
That is self, yes. You come to know the line, the dotted line. In any game, you need to know when you are crossing the line. If that is fuzzy, then then it is confusion. Sanjeevani brings that full clarity. If you are playing any game, tennis even, you need to know very clearly the line, otherwise you won't get a good score. So here you understand the game. Sanjeevan is a huge milestone in the journey of the unconscious Sita to become conscious. And conscious, understand what is happening. But it is not victory. To be conscious doesn't mean you have won. To be conscious means now you have understood the game, but you are still in the ring. Boxing ring is there, an enemy is still there with all his 10 heads. That monster is there, Maya is there. Maya can come with new creative things. But at least you have recognized now, you are not just a zombie slave anymore. You are understanding this game and you have won, and you have chances to win. Let us hear some thoughts from you.
Some nice other answers as well. We also get to know the fact we have power to stop Ravan. That was interesting. As part of the game, I guess. Who's on which side of the team, and the direction and your position and your aim. So connected to game. There's a question also, it was a little bit earlier. The decision may be made many times, but why does it feel difficult if there is the immediate help of Ram? And I suppose you've kind of answered that with Maya, but how does one not see that Ram's help is at hand?
When you have crossed the line in ignorance, and your there are limitations. There are many things that are obvious to you, not obvious when you are in this spell of ignorance. But now we are bringing the clarity, so we are coming out of that. And but that explains why the way things were in the past.
Yes, sometimes if you mention passing from a light place into a dark place, and it's very difficult to get your way back. And someone has written, we are not conscious enough of the day or clarity, and so Maya can still trip us up. lost contrast. No other comments right now.
Yes. So we were seeing here, and there is this Sita has become, got the Sanjeevani, and now asking a question: is it realistic to hope that someone who was defeated and knocked out, unconscious in the boxing ring, and now has become conscious? Can she just win the game next round? Can she win? What are the chances of she suddenly winning the game? She has been beaten up all this time in the boxing ring and did not even know even that game is going on. Now she becomes conscious. In the next round, she wins. What are the chances of she winning the next round? Small. That's good. What can change the fortune completely? What is required so that the chances of she winning next round are very high? What is required? It can be in any of our, any strategies. If you do the same thing you have always done, you will get the same result that you always got. So here you will have to think in any way. But what is required to have a completely different result and to win in the next round?
Self-awareness, you need to take action, but which action? Ram, someone's written. Ask for help, confidence, determination, attention, change of strategy, but which strategy? Understand she's powerful. To be cautious, have remembrance, Ram. Surrender to divinity, live on the transcendental platform. Trust, resilience to keep trying.
In any war even, if you have new information that has power to, that can bring new results, new information. If you are working with the same old thing, then there is not a big, you won't get a big result, different result, but new information. And now, if Sita, with Paras and with Sita being conscious, with Sanjeevani, she now realizes something very important. She understands her own strengths and she need to understand the weaknesses of the enemy. Both are required. Your own strengths and weaknesses of the enemy. In a war, you need to know where are the weak areas of the enemy, what are the enemy's strength also. So what is the weakness of the enemy here? There is a monster, Ravan. What is his weakness?
Good question.
In fact, his weakness is ignorance itself is a weakness, big weakness. Ravan is a king in ignorance. So that is one weakness. But other weakness of Ravan, he needs a constant supply.
Someone's written overconfidence, wish to dominate, but we see that he's dependent. Okay.
Yeah, he needs continuous supply. That puts a huge limitation to anyone. Say you got a car and that needs to be, you need to recharge the battery every 10 minutes, then that is not a very useful car. A constant supply is required. You have to get some connected to the mains again and again. Then it is not a good, useful thing. So here, Ravan's every head has supplies. That is a big area. In a war, you block the supplies and the enemy will surrender. In a supply route, that is what is called laying a siege. You stop the supplies. And here, strengths of Sita. When Sita is conscious, she realizes that Sita is immortal and she is beyond harm. What Sita is, she remains the same. No one can harm her. What an amazing thing to know, that she is beyond harm and she is immortal. So, now the question arises, Ravan's supplies. Who are suppliers to Ravan? Who is supplying all the 10 heads of Ravan? Do you want to tell? Who are the different suppliers?
Someone's written Amazon.
Without tariff, Ravan gets supplies without tariff.
Amazon van is often in the street here. Almost one of the neighbors.
Sure.
Sita, Maya, maybe the vices, anger, greed, the thoughts. Sita herself, senses.
Sita is the only supplier. Sita is the person who gives to Ravan what he wants. Sita is only one who is in a position to supply. This is another strength of Sita, because she is now in a position to stop the supplies of Ravan. She understands the factors, new information, that she is in a powerful position. If she wants, she can stop the supplies, and the enemy will be loser. So she knows her strength, she knows the weaknesses of the enemy. So if she stops the supplies of Ravan, she knows that Ravan will start screaming and banging at the table and bring smoke from his ears. But that is all. He cannot do anything more. And every day that passes, he will shrink. And once he shrinks, his banging will also become less, and smoke will also become less. All that she has to do is not be frightened. Otherwise, she can defeat herself just by fear. But now this new information, she realizes that she is beyond harm. She cannot be harmed by Ravan at all. She is immortal. So she can challenge. She can afford to challenge Maya and Ravan. Stop the supplies. And now we are in the winning track, because every day that passes, Ravan's heads are becoming smaller. That is a victory. And as Ravan's heads are getting smaller, you are understanding better. You are able to step behind the line more easily. You are turning the tables. Until now, Ravan was winning, you are winning. This is like a big strategy to stop the supplies of Ravan. One time, our senior Dadi, Dadi Gulzar, and she, in a small class gathering, she was saying that, okay, we all have 10 heads, but for each one, the dominant head is different. In other words, each one has got some weakness, one weakness bigger, more dominant than other. Someone may get caught with cigarettes, another get caught with alcohol, someone with some other person cannot stop thinking of one person. Someone is obsessed with iPod or computer or Facebook. These are all different Ravan's madness. And so in each one, there is Ravan with 10 heads, but some heads are disproportionately dominant than others. And the point she was making, that big head has to go first. Big head of Ravan has to be removed first. Because that big head of Ravan is your main enemy. If you see sometimes stories of other people, they may be very intelligent or very great potential, but something completely brings them to the floor, and that is that big head of Ravan that brings them to the floor. If they conquer that big head of Ravan, they fly. The sky is the limit, because we see here the whole thing. The Sita is like Ram. There is a completely different option altogether. But the big head of Ravan has to be removed. So if you are using a strategy to stop the supplies, first understand the big head within you, or what you think is a big head. You don't have to spend too much time analyzing. You may feel a certain head that dominating mind, dominate. Okay, so that is, then let me remove that head first. And for this, introduce a 3-day program. 3-day project. And what is this 3-day project? You are stopping the supplies. You are stopping the supplies of Ravan for 3 days. Taking the example of cigarettes, you stop the supply of cigarettes with some determination required, but you say, but further, you say, I'm not going to give any thoughts of cigarette either. This 3-day program is this. You stop the supply of all levels of the demand, whatever Ravan wants. You are not giving the cigarettes, also the thoughts. 3 days. If you do this very strictly, what will happen is that head of Ravan will become unconscious. That's a huge thing. If Ravan becomes unconscious in your system, one head of Ravan becomes unconscious. That is like so much peace. One demon less in the system. Demon is demon. Demon, as was said, taking sorrow, giving sorrow. But it is a big problem to the person. Other people get some percentage of that sorrow. But you are dealing with that demon 24 hours in your system. So one demon less in the system, there is so much more peace. We said not to waste too much time analyzing which is the big head. Remove one head. Once you remove some clutter, you can see more clearly the other heads better. So whatever the other heads are, you will be able to see them. And all heads have to go anyway. But point she was saying, don't hide the big head. That is what Ravan wants to do. But your aim is to remove all heads. It'll be nice to hear some thoughts from you.
In this aspect of trying to grapple with the 3-day project, when we try to not think about something, we end up thinking more. Someone's referring to the pink elephant syndrome. You know, if someone says, don't think of a pink elephant, you think of the pink elephant. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. And here, what you are doing, you are, just 1 second. What you are doing here, the nice program, keep the mind busy with Ram. Idle mind is the devil's workshop. So it will, some thoughts will come, then you don't know, there is no other plan, so mind will go in that direction. It appears you got nothing else to think about. But keep the mind busy with Ram, with the program. You have deadlines and this kind of thing, continuous. Even to revise the ideas we discussed, that is a useful thing. It is a nourishment for the Sita. It favors Sita. And as was said, knowledge is positive thing for Sita. Ignorance is for Ravan. It helps Ravan. So if you are churning knowledge, it means you are with Ram. You are keeping the mind with Ram. Thoughts of Ram, in different ways. As we cover the different sessions, you will have more ideas how to keep the mind busy with Ram. But already, you have the aim, and you will find ways to do this. Various practices we have introduced, like 4-step practice, great time for that. And during those minutes, you will find Ravan is not there. Maya is not there. You are winning. Every minute you are practicing, you are winning.
Someone is asking, so Ravan is in Sita? Ravan is not another being?
As was said, this is a psychodrama. These are personified, but these are factors within us. Maybe let me ask you, what are all these heads of Ravan? We said this Sita is the soul, Ram is God, and then there is the line of ignorance. And so Ravan and these different heads, what are these different heads? What do they represent?
Heads are the vices, they are desires.
And what is behind desires? What is behind vices?
Conditioned habits, insecurity, the ego, family, someone's written, fear.
All this, what is shown here, the different heads of Ravan, they are those identities that we spoke about. Different I we spoke. I identity based on body, identity based on, your job or car. These are the different heads of Ravan. And there are subtle and gross identities. They are required. Those identities are required. They are the ones who have constant insecurities, constant needs, and constant desperations and disappointments. Yeah, it is Sita creates that within her, within the system. All these activities, these are all different functions happening within the soul.
And it's saying it's a bit like if you want to look after a tree, you might have to prune it to get rid of what is maybe sick roots, maybe even branches to make the tree healthy. It's a comment. Yeah, so no other questions right now.
So maybe it may be a good time for rooms, and then we meet after the rooms.
Sure. So the question we could discuss, what inner games do you notice within yourself? What would help Sita win over Ravan? You want to add anything, Prashant?
That's good. Yeah.
That's in the chat, something to reflect on for a moment. And yeah, I think everyone here is familiar with the routine. So enjoy the room discussion. We'll be back just over 10 minutes. Welcome back. Let's have a moment with this image of Sita and Ram in the real world. Thank you. So much appreciation, and do share any highlights from the rooms, because this will be useful for everyone. Meanwhile, we'll welcome back Prashant and see if there's second part of the story. Okay.
Yes, thank you. And it is like the long stories, and definitely worth revising again, because now you got an overview, and once you got an overview, then worth going through it again, seeing your at a personal level how it applies to you, and then there will be, you will hear some other things as you go through it again. So I'm going to touch some area. We are dealing with the victory here. That's why we are here. And this victory is necessary for each and everyone on the planet. At, at all levels. If you get this victory, you get victory at all levels. As we saw, you become lucky. And you get prizes. It is the biggest secret that exists in this universe, and that you have understood that this game, you understood the players, and you understood how to win. And then we need to come back and be creative in this. How can we win at a personal level, whichever the game Ravan is playing? How to win over and be in this world, be in life, be in the job, and how to remove Ravan and Maya from the system. I'm going to take up Maya now in some detail. We said there is Maya, and we saw different forms of Maya. The way we define and differentiate Ravan and Maya. Ravan is like a dumb monster, banging, I want, like this. And Maya is cunning, and beautiful. In Greek mythology, Pandora is described as kakos kalos, Greek word meaning wicked and good, beautiful and wicked. And Maya is that. Maya comes with very sweet form, but it is absolutely working for Ravan and demonic. The agenda is demonic. To know that Maya will come with all clever, it can create new strategy for you, tailor made, depending upon your weaknesses or something like that. We have to spot Maya in us, and it will be there in the next half an hour. You will see how Maya comes with some program for you. And we said there is antidote for each form of Maya. For example, Maya is saying, do it later. Maya is telling, do it later. You have to internally check, what is Ram saying? Will Ram say, do it later? What do you think Ram will say? To give up smoking. What will Ram say?
You would definitely say to do it now. Yeah.
Now or never. That is the chant from Ram. Maya will say, it is very difficult. Anything you are doing, so you have to go early morning for the meeting, or class or some center activities. And Maya will say it is difficult for whatever reason. And what will Ram say? Ram says it is easy, Raj Yoga. Everything is easy. If you say it is easy, you feel it is easy, it becomes easy. If you say the smallest thing, you can say it is very difficult. Maya says you are weak. In everything, Maya will tell you are weak, you can't do it. And Ram says you are Shaktis. Shaktis are those who ride lions. So if you can ride lions, you can do many things. You are certainly not weak. Again, this is like we can tell ourselves we are weak, I can't do this, and then nothing happens. And you can see Maya will come with excuses. What will Ram do? Ram says you can use the same brain to think of solutions. We can use the brain to think of excuses in every situation. We can also use the brain for solutions. Maya will create doubts. That is the job of Maya, to create some doubts. What will Ram tell? What will Ram do in those situations?
No doubt.
Doubt comes if your foundation is not very strong, then the doubt comes. Like, for example, here is a cup and a mug. I don't have a doubt whether it's a mug or not because it is so clear. And then there is I don't spend time thinking about, is it really a mug or is it something else? And don't go in some circle every day. In the same way, here with knowledge also, it is good for us to bring ourselves to the level where we are certain. This whole knowledge is not based on faith, not based on belief, not based on trust, but based on nishchay, certainty. Bring yourself to the level where everything is so clear to you. And if that foundation is there, there won't be doubt at all. Doubt will never come. All situations will come, but you will never have doubt. You're not wasting time in that. Foundation has to be made stronger. Even here, we are going into the details and dealing with all the questions, encouraging questions. This is the place to ask questions. So you bring yourself to the level where foundation is strong, very clear. Everything is so clear. And then you can then proceed. Maya will say, it is a long process. What will Ram say?
It's 1 second.
It's a
Very
game of 1
quick.
second. That's right. You can do anything. Then there is law, no? What Parkinson's law? Parkinson's law. You use the time. If you got a project and you got 1 year, you will do the project in 1 year. If you got 1 month, you will do the same project in 1 month. The Parkinson's law, about time, how we use time. So if you want, you can finish everything in 1 second. You can also say it will take 2 years also. So every form of Maya, use the antidote. Internally check. So you get this thought, oh, it is difficult. And internally don't say it is, I think it is difficult. Now Maya tells it is difficult. What is Ram going to tell me? Take this, be neutral in this. Maya says it is difficult. Ram says it is easy. Whom should I listen to? And it becomes easy to deal with this. And all the forms of Maya need to be stopped. If you want to go for victory, they need to be stopped. If they are not stopped, they are like trump cards. If you tell yourselves you are weak, that's the end of the game. If you tell yourselves it is difficult, these are trump cards, any of these things. And same with your students also. You may have to empower them by, they should hear this today's session early on, so that they now know, because Maya will come straight away as they are going through the lessons. The Maya will come, and if they say to themselves it is difficult, that will be end of the game for them. So they need to know Maya will come, and they have the option to stop that Maya's form. And if you stop it once, twice, few times, then it disappears. Maya may come in new forms, and you have to observe those new forms of Maya, and they need to be stopped. So now let us hear some thoughts from you.
Yeah, I was just reflecting on this. We're playing with words now, but it's not just semantic. It's like Ram really knows Sita. He is the one, he's not just saying it's easy as a nice encouragement. It was feeling how he knows who she really is before she had anything to do with Ravan. So he does see it as easy. It's her natural nature, how she started, and he understands exactly the process and what's in the way. So it's deeply based in truth also, isn't it? So but Sita has only known Ravan. In a sense, in the dark, you only know the shades of grey and lost the contrast. So this is the game. Also, the word faith came up as an answer to the opposite of doubt. And I wondered if you wanted to say anything about faith at this stage.
Sure. In Hindi, there is a word Hindi, Sanskrit, and that word is called Nishchay. And this Nishchay in a dictionary translates it as conviction or certainty or being sure. And that is the foundation of spirituality. All the religions, their foundation is faith. And faith, when we use the word, it means doubt. There is a element of doubt. I was giving the example earlier of this mug. I don't say I have faith that I got a mug in my hand. I won't use that word. Then I know it is in my hand. I'm sure it is in a mug in my hand. So the word faith, it means doubt. And then that is not a foundation for victory. For victory, you need to be sure.
Someone else is asking to talk more about becoming certain about aspects of knowledge to disarm doubt, and maybe you could give an example of how I can do that.
Like at various times, we have approached things, in our discussions, from science also, but from reason, and tried to understand it, so that we are having a rational foundation to knowledge. But anytime, each one of us can have some questions that come, bring them up, discuss with your teachers until you are clear. It has to be 100% clear.
Someone is asking, can we have a bit of both, faith and certainty?
And as was said, nothing wrong with, it is not pro faith or pro certainty. But if you want victory, let me give an example. Say there is a chair behind you. You have not seen the chair. You are told, have a faith that there is a chair behind you and sit. Will you sit? You have not seen the chair. You are not really sure about the chair, but have faith and sit. You won't sit. When you are sure that there is a chair, then you will sit on the chair. Same thing happens at a spiritual level. We are literally letting go of this false identity to move into the true identity. As there is certainty, that process becomes easy. To defeat Ravan becomes easy.
Someone is asking, can faith create a taste? Like, does it start with faith and then become certainty, for example?
Whatever, but ultimate aim is, as long as we reach there.
Is it something that you could share about a working model of certainty? Like we take a bit like scientists, they take a premise and then we experience it through
It is like that. Certain things we spoke yesterday. Be a guest for 1 minute. Just an experiment. Be a guest for 1 minute. Guest on this planet. And we said, during that minute, you are really a guest. You don't own a single atom here. You come into this awareness just for 1 minute. Deeper insight, it allows you to let go. Because it is just 1 minute, I can let go. And when you let go, it allows you to experience the other side. without you knowing, you fly and certain experiences come. And personal experiences become the basis of lots of certainty. That is a guaranteed method. When they're talking about the story with eagle, we said ultimately you have to use wings and fly. That is the foundation of, then no one can prove you wrong. It is beyond faith, beyond model concept. You have experienced the sky. This 1 minute program is a good one. During that time you are because it is 1 minute, Maya allows you to practice it. Maya allows you to drop the bondages.
I think you've answered this question, because when we hear this example of the eagle, it is not just the conviction sounds like sort of just a head thing, but it's experiential, because this question is saying becoming rational, certain. Is it the same for everyone? Not everyone is heady. Some might prefer just to feel it and not need any rational certainty. What do you think?
Both, we need both, and we all are head and heart. That clarity helps us. Just like in your, if you are going from one city to another city, you need to be sure of the roads. You can't just go with the feelings. You need to know which road will take you to that city, and some clarity is required. Feelings are necessary. You enjoy the journey and all, but we also need to use the head.
Yeah, thank you. Someone is, I think it's a question, Maya and Ravan, are they a part of my consciousness? So you did touch on this earlier, but did you want to add anything?
I won't say part, because when we are above the line, there is no Ravan. And so Ravan is essentially something that is created in our darkness. Only when we go in the darkness, Ravan comes in. The nearest example is shadow. In it, if there is full light in all directions, there is no shadow. You go into the, some light is not there, then shadow comes in. A bit like that. It is a function within us, and that whole department of Ravan, but not part of us.
And as you said, it helps to personify in order for us to be objective enough. And you mentioned at the beginning, when there is sorrow, Ravan is involved. So then we get some orientation as to what approach, and a decision, of course, to be on the side of Ram. So yeah, at this stage there aren't any questions. There may be some meditation or anything you want to add.
Yeah, let us create some time for practice, and let us come to our important sketch from yesterday, the Paras perspective. And I hope you got a sketch like this in your place to remind you. We said we have to make Paras strong. So all that is happening in 1 second, we change the game. invisible witness wakes up. This second, invisible witness is awake. And he's seeing that on one side is a story. Even Prashant talking here, that is all happening in that story. Story is story. It is like it is not our story. There are different characters, millions and billions of characters in that story. Here they are talking knowledge, but even that is happening in the story. At the same time, we are seeing the world beyond the story. Beyond the story is silence. There is no noise of the story. Beyond the story is reality. We see it in the image of a sky, expanse, region of light. True family in the sky. They all are like living stars. In this world, everything is divine. It is Ravan-free region. No one needs anything for their existence. No needs, no concept of desire, disappointment. They are naturally egoless. Ego is based on the story. They are beyond. They are viceless. Vices are because of the story. They are Ravan free. That makes it divine. It is the home of the family of Ram. World of silent joy and love. They know the joy of existence because there is nothing else to experience. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to be angry about. Their world is sublime. Everyone is good, everything is good. And down below, they are seeing the great story. They see story as story. There is no complaint about the story. Not even the slightest. Invisible witness is the invisible traveler. He knows he is very, very lucky. All he has done, he come in the full light, full clarity, and then is a winner. In truth, Everything is beautiful, and truth itself is beautiful. Thank you. I'll quickly, go through what we discussed so far. We have discussed so far this extraordinary secret of all of us, that we got a reality beyond this story, and that this whole Patthar influence, it has blocked us from seeing this reality. We are deceived. It is almost like someone goes in the dream and is so much in the dreaming, and when he's dreaming, he doesn't realize he's dreaming. For him, it is the real world. And during that time, he was completely cut off from his real world. And then he wakes up and discovers there is a real world. It is something like that. We are at present, the whole society is living in this story world, and we are cut off from the real world. We are in that dream story. Here is a little effort, a serious effort to get out of this spell and break out of that spell and discover the waking reality. And anyone who is awake is immensely useful to others, useful to himself. It so happens here the waking reality is sweeter than the sweetest dream. It is extraordinary, this waking reality. It is positive, it is world of Ram. Today we saw, even though you may like to wake up, there are factors there that are opposing you, and we discussed it in the form of the story. And there are factors actively working. It is keeping everyone in that spell, and but it's a game, and we have to win the game. We do this even with the attitude of fun. We want to win, but lightness. Then we keep going without seeing the burden, and not with the energy of battle. It is also a war, but we are not using the language of the war. We are using the language of the game. We are playing to win, and we want everyone to win.
It makes sense as a game because actually backdrop is all are safe. So in the game, there's a parallel, a primary world. And I think you mentioned earlier, when one head gets little less, you absolutely feel the relief. So in this game, this encourages the forward movement, and you get the insight. If Maya, her dialogue gets challenged, you realize it's possible to challenge further. So there's self-respect. So yes, it helps the energy become sustainable. When we understand precisely what's happening, we can put something into practice without wasted effort. So would you suggest any homework or have any final thoughts before we close today?
The homework would be to check if there is Maya in your town. That is one homework. But to revise the story, that will be very good. You may have the recording of this, or the written. We got a written version of this also, and to go through it and see its application, and definitely worth revisiting it after few months also again. You will see new aspects, because as you gain victory in different areas, we need to understand the subtle things also.
Yeah, when you start clearing the clutter, you get enthused, and then you get more to see. We will put the written version in the drive, and the link has been put in the chat just earlier. So enjoy.
The important aspect of the homework is also creating time in those four steps program and 1 minute program. We said 1 minute 10 times a day and 4 minute program at least once a day. That is the main homework.
Thank you. So enjoy, and we'll meet again tomorrow.